Hi, this is Kelly with Kelly's Creative Dream Studios, and welcome to Make It March 2026, a spring-themed collab with JJ with Joy, and I will link her channel as well as all the other links for the design creators and the collaborators in the description box below. I hope you'll make sure to go check all of them out, leave some love, and subscribe. Today I am working with the Be Happy stationery, and I previewed this earlier, but I will link that preview video in the description box below. I'm sorry, I'm having trouble talking this morning. This is take 5 or so, and it's going to be about 20-25 minutes long. I knew I'd forget something. I forgot to grab my timer. Otherwise, who knows how long this will wind up. So we're going to start with the cover. And I've got a couple of things to show you on the cover before we put it together. Now, I have gone through and paired everything up with the pages we're going to do. But let's show you what I started with. If you've shopped Bob Evans potatoes or side dishes in your supermarket, then you know this shape. And I have been saving these. I knew I wanted to do some kind of a book cover with these, so this is what I decided I was going to work with for this one. Now, the first thing I did was I took the one I wanted to use for my cover, and I glued two of them together. So the cover, front and back, are both thicker than the pages. They're more of a heavy chipboard weight. Then, to find my holes, I used my 0 ruler, and I measured out my edge. Well, I cut a piece of this first to make this, so that it would be easier for me to find what I wanted. Found my 0. And see, if I line that up, I have 2.5 on this side and 2.5 on this side. So that's where my 0 center had to be. And then I went down to 1 3/4 and 1 3/4 from that 0. And that gave me my positioning for my holes. So now that we have that figured out, then I thought I was going to have to use the small print of these, but the large print is working out really well. So I'm going to take and cut this apart, or take these apart, get rid of my Post-it. Now I went through and I cut one of these out, and I backed it on chipboard, and I should cut that out. Let's see if we can do that rather quickly. I was looking for my blade that lets me cut those things out, and I could not find one anywhere. I've got one over here somewhere. It's one of those cute little blade pens. I couldn't find it. So let's just take our scissors and make a score. Actually, let's do this and see if it works better. I don't work with this thing really well, but we're going to try it. Whoops, got it backwards. That's why it was feeling funky. Okay, so I'm just going to cut this. I want to just get a starting spot, because I did wind up going through and cutting the first layer out with my pointy scissors. And these are the fussy cut scissors from Fiskars. I have other fussy cut scissors. I think I've got Stampin' Up! Scissors. I've got some that I have won through book clubs of all things. And I'm just going to try and get as precise as I can. And the reason I did this on the cardstock was I wanted it to be a little heavier weight than just paper. And depending on how thick you want your chipboard, so to speak, to be, determines how many layers of cardstock you use behind your image. Now this one would probably go easier if I put my glasses on. Let's start there. Okay. Now, because I have everything laid out, I can take my time with some things. And I'm trying not to cut the handle on the teapot. I think these little houses that she designed are so adorable. Now I can go ahead and get this one out of the way. Got that one clipped down. Let's see if I can go around this opening. And it's not going to be perfect. It's a junk journal. It's not supposed to be machine cut precise, right? So put that away. Put our cap on that one. And get that out of the way. Okay, now I've got that. Now if you'll notice, there are two different things here. They're basically the same teapot, but this one has the umbrellas on it. And I'm using this to show me the position, because when I cut the teapot out, I cut all the umbrellas off, and I'm using this one as a guide. It is not going to go on the cover. Let me put my cutting board away and bring our cover over. And I've already gone around this one and dusted it with Vintage Photo. And so I'm going to bring this up, and where are my dimensionals? I laid them out. Here we go. My dimensionals book. And I'm going to pull out both sizes, both the small and the large, because we may need them both. And then I'll just close this back up, set it over out of the way. And let's see. I should use a pair of tweezers for this, I think. And I'm going to scoot up here. I'm going to do better with my fingers. I can see it already. Because I want to use the little bitty ones. Because I don't want these little cups and chimney floating in the air by themselves. And you'll see why in a minute. But I want to make sure I get that in there. And I'll get a couple more down the side of the spout. This one I'm not going to be able to do too much about. But I am going to put it right there at the junction so that it'll help secure that junction. Then I can come back in. Let's put another small one on this chimney piece. Right there. And right there. Now, I have had so much fun playing with these digitals. They are so well done. So much fun. And the unusual color of doing a blue for March as opposed to the green as you'd think of for St. Patrick's Day. But we have raindrops, and we have, you know, all the colors of spring. Blue sky, which we have today, but by Sunday afternoon around here probably is not going to be an option. So let's get some more, because I really want this to be supported, and I want something down here in this corner really well. And you know, dimensionals are not that expensive. Use them to your advantage, and make sure you use your border pieces. They are not expendable. You can use them too. And I'm going to put one more right in the center. Now, I'm choosing not to put anything behind the teapot because I have the rain and the clouds, and that's going to suffice. So now the tedious part of taking all the paper backings off and making sure I don't drop them in my can of soda back here. That would be fun and interesting. It looks like a good portion of the Midwest is in for some horrible weather tomorrow. Well, as I record this on Saturday, that Sunday is not going to be pleasant for most places, but as you're watching this, I'm headed home from the hotel on Wednesday. Tuesday. I will still be at the hotel. I tell you, trying to plan this ahead and keep the date straight in my mind has been perfectly chaotic. I just know when I get to the hotel on Sunday, I don't have to move anywhere till Wednesday. That's all I can remember. I'm going to be using the hotel Wi-Fi to upload the videos. And while they're uploading, I can be working on my book, which is book 2 of my Ozark series. It's called... now, before I do that, let's make sure we're going to get this in the right placement. Okay, because I want to make sure those... Okay, so this needs to be with this bottom ring, because I want to make sure that I have room for my umbrellas up there. Just like that. Now, see, we have dimension here. Now I have the umbrellas, and I can see where they go. This one needs to go right here, and this one needs to go over here off to the side. Now, this one goes over here, and this one goes over here off to the side. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring them up on dimensionals, but I'm also going to use, instead of trying to cut that really thin piece here, I decided to go ahead and cut them off, do my trimming, and then, of course, I don't have my perma marker here with me. I'll have to come back and do it, I guess. But it should have been laying here. I'll pencil it in for now so we know where we're going to go. But I'm going to run a perma marker up there to hold the flags in place. Now this one is going to go like this. And then this one goes right up here, right up the corner of that blue one and into there. So that's where that one will go. And I will put those in with perma marker. Aha! Guess what I found? I found my perma marker laying right in front of me. So, where did I do that? Yeah, this was one. The raindrop almost looked like the rain. I'm going to come back here and erase that one a little bit better. And then we have this one going up to the top, just like that. And this one will go up here just like that. Okay, now we can come back with our dimensionals again. And I think I can pretty much do these singular. One. Where did my other umbrellas go? There they are, way over there. Way over there. Now this one I'm going to have to use a small one on. I can see that. But I think I can put a big one on the next one down. Just like that. And before I lose them again, I'll get them stuck into place. And as I said, after I fussy cut everything out, I went around and I did the distressing, so that's already done. Let's see, we can put that one in there just like that, at the angle. And then for this one, we just need one big one right here at the top. And I positioned the flat sides of the dimensional so they run parallel with the umbrella base so that they don't show on the outside. Now this one could use a little bit, but I'm afraid, let me see if we can cut a piece off. See if we can cut a little piece off. And I'm just cutting that off the side here, the border of the sticker sheet. And I'm going to snip just a little corner. And the reason I'm choosing to do this is because that is so fragile attached to that other umbrella. I don't want to risk losing it off the page, having it tear. So then we've got this one. And this one, I've got to be really careful because my fingers are trembling with me this morning. Hang on right there. Here we go. And then this one. And this one doesn't have a chimney stick. It's just a flag off that umbrella, and then this one we can come back. And I'm going to put a big one in the center, and I'm going to put a couple of small ones on either side because it is a larger umbrella. I want everything to be really stable on here, okay? Okay. I'm going to try and get through this. I really need to try and stick to about 25 minutes because I don't know what it's going to take me to upload at the hotel. I just know what it would take if I was home, and that's why I didn't stay home to do this. Okay, and then I have April showers, and I've already dusted this, and I'm going to put this one on dimensionals as well. And I can put... I don't like trampolines in my images, so I always make sure to put one in the middle. Even if the two on the ends would look like it would cover it, okay? Now the words were also part of the kit, and I had them in two sizes, so let's put the April showers right up here, and there's our cover. Okay, now I'm going to flip this open, and I'm doing a pocket. This is one of the pockets from there, and I have not dusted them yet, so I'm going to do that. And I folded them in so that my creases have that done. And then now I always use a glue. I don't like a tape runner because over time a tape runner double back adhesive will release, sometimes faster than others depending on your weather conditions. So I always use a glue, always. And Tombow is my glue of choice. Now I'm going to try and tuck this in. Get these ends to tuck in where I want that to go. And it will take this just a couple of minutes to dry. So I can do that. And then I've already dusted this tag that came with this. And I need to dust the umbrella. And the reason I'm using the umbrella with the duckies is because I'm using the duckies over here. And I am going to bring that one up on dimensionals as well. I thought about gluing it. Because of the handle is so flimsy. But I really wanted it to really fly through the air over here. In fact, I almost thought about putting a wobbler on it. We may do a wobbler on something else here soon. So there's that umbrella. Okay, that's the inside cover. For this one, I have a pocket. And this is again from the kit. And I really creased this one down good so I don't have to fight with getting it in place. So there's that. And this one was cut from the package and from the dimensionals and digitals. And I'm just going to bring it up on dimensionals as well. Okay, there's our first 15 minutes and we're not very far into this. So we got a book. This may be a little longer than 20 minutes. We'll see. 25, 30. I hope you're enjoying watching me put this together. I really had fun working with this kit. I just need one dimensional in the center. Pull this off. And this is why I had everything put together, so maybe I could go through this a little faster. Maybe not. Okay. So there's that one. Okay. Flip it over. And what I've done is I've started making a hidden paper clip. And I forgot to plug in my glue gun, so let's do that. But I've taken 2 of the circle images and I cut circles. I punched circles a 1/2 inch smaller, 1/4 inch smaller. And that will be the placement for our hidden paper clip. So while the glue gun is heating up, I will come back and do this one. Hopefully we'll have time. If not, you'll see it in the flip through with my video on the 27th. So next, I'm going to try not to lose this stuff here. I'm going to flip this, and I'm going to do this one because this one is simpler. Because I want to show you a trick with this one. This is, now I had that ink color this morning. There it is. Instead of trying to cut through all this stuff, what I decided to do is color the background. And so I'm using Sea Spray from Stampin' Up. Picked up the lid, not the bottom. And I'm just going to go through and I'm just going to lightly tone down that white with a blue sky color. See how we do that? And that will take some of the starkness of the white out and let that teapot be sitting behind in front of a blue sky. See, now it's not so white anymore. And that was using Sea Spray. Then I'm going to come back and I am going to dust the edge with the Vintage Photo because that's going to create a shadow where everything's popping against the sky. So we'll do this, okay? Okay. And what I decided to do with this, try not to lose my other pieces here. Okay, so we're doing this one over here, and what I did was, oops. I came in with a piece of doily, and I'm just going to tentatively splatter glue in the bigger spots. And I'm going to put that there. And then, is that how I had that? No, that's how I had that. Then we're going to take and put this, and I'm gluing this flat as well. Gluing that flat as well, right onto there. And then this is going on dimensionals in front of it, and it's going to be hiding the wand of the umbrella. But I got to come over here because I don't want to lay in the glue. Now, if you're gluing something and you want to keep working and your glue isn't dry, you can use a piece of parchment paper. I have strips from my Xyron sticker machine. I also use the backing sheets from when I do anything with contact paper. And I have glue all over my fingers and everything's going to stick while I'm trying to hurry. Go figure. If you've been to my channel before, you know that glue and I are not exactly the best of friends. I will wear it inevitably and probably within the first minute of the video. And yet I still prefer. So it looks like that umbrella could carry that house away. Okay, now I can come back to this one. And because I've got glue on there, I'm going to lay these strips on there so they don't glue to the next page. And then I'm going to come in. I have this one, and it doesn't look like this one got dusted either. And I'm trying to stay within frame. If I don't, I apologize. But I only have so much room to work. There we go. Now this one did not have a bottom strip to fold in, so it could almost be a belly band. And we're going to stick it right there. Oh, no, we're not. Pull that one back up. Oops. Let me see if I can get rid of that really quick. Ah, boo-booed. And because I don't want any glue there, where is my powder? Oh, this will work. This will work. I got glue where I didn't want it, so I'm just going to dab that with baby powder. So whatever I put in that pocket is going to stay. This is the one that I want to go down first. And I'm making a pocket within a pocket on this one. Just like that. And see, they're the same house. And then redo the glue. And put it right there. Okay, now that's down, that's down. This one will go in the front pocket. This one will go with the raccoon in the back pocket, and there we go. Okay, have this one. Didn't put a tag in that one. Let's finish our pockets really quick. Okay, this is another pocket. Let me get my paper clips out of the way. I wasn't sure I wanted to utilize the pockets. I had another idea in mind. People think that I can put these together in a matter of minutes, that I know exactly what I'm doing when I sit down. And the reason is that I do is because I lay in bed at night when I can't go to sleep planning out my designs. So when I do come in to sit down, I know what I'm doing. Okay, this one is too long for this by about a hair. So I'm going to snip it off just a bit. I think I'm going to snip it off at that umbrella. Give it a dusting. I'd already done the edges. And now that has that. And we'll do this one as a belly band. Just like that. Okay? And then I have this this journaling card from the set. And it'll do that. This one, I'm choosing to use this as a pocket. So I'm only going to do glue about part of the way around. Just like that. And we're going to put it down here as if it's a stop. Press that in place with my baby wipe. And this one goes there. And then we have another umbrella going up above. Now we went through the first 15 minutes. Now, oh, I flipped the timer the wrong way. Oops. I flipped this to 45. We could be here a while. Okay, let's see what I can get done in this final 15 minutes. Now the next video you will see from me is about the 26th, where I will be showing you the other paper collection that I'm going to be using. There's that one. Okay, here's one I wanted to show. No, that was the inside back. I've got one over here to show you. This one, I used a piece of cheesecloth, well, not cheesecloth, gauze, and I don't remember, I think I dyed this with some of Bob's coffee, and I put a piece here, put permacloud over top, used another one of the images. It's not a tag or tuck. It's just one of the images, and I turned it into a tuck. And you'll see I did the same thing here. I dusted over it with the blue and then stuck that in there. Now, let's go back. My glue gun is hot, so let's go back and do our paper clip. Where were we going to put him? He was going to go right here. So you start with smaller discs and you put your paper clip on it, okay? Then we're going to come back in with the glue, and I want that to really glue around that paper clip. Whoa, I don't know why my glue gun came out brown. And we're going to stick this right on the front. And I'm going to lay it down over here to the side so I can press it down. I don't know if I'll be in frame or not, but I want to make sure that that glue sticks really good. Now, here's the tricky part. If you're putting an image on the back, make sure you're going the same direction. That's the tricky part. Make sure you're going the same direction. And you're only gluing to that base circle. You're not going all the way down. Only gluing to that base circle. And there's my duck. There's my house. And they're right side up. Put on my little finger dauber so I can press down. Now, we'll come back to this in a minute. I want to let it cool, okay? Then we're going to put, I've got one over here. Move these to the side. One more to show you, because this is one that I boo-booed on when I printed it. And I wanted to show you that boo-boos are fixable. When I printed it, I cut it the wrong way on the paper. Everything's going the right way, but I printed this in portrait instead of landscape. So I've got this white down here. So I cut one of the images, dusted it around, and then I'm going to come back and glue it. But before I do, I've already marked my holes to pair up with those. So I'm going to go ahead and cut those out. Then all I got to do is line them up. Ha ha ha. Okay. So now we can come back with our glue. And we're only going on the sides and the bottom. Just like that. And then we're going to come back and we're going to line it up with our holes. And that's going to cover the boo-boo. Nobody except you and me know that it's there. Okay? I need to let my glue start dripping down a little more. I can turn my glue gun off. And that'll take care of that. And then I had a tag to go in here. I don't know where it went. I had a tag to go in here and I laid it somewhere. We'll find it. Okay, next, I wanted to show you how I did these. This is one of the papers for this, and I'm going to take and I'm going to come back here around, and I'm going to try and trim up as close to that as I can and cut this back one off, because this is another inside page. Trim this down the side. And remember, if you've watched a sneak peek of this, you'll know that I printed the paper items. I printed on 32-pound paper so that the cover of the Bob Evans carton wouldn't show through, and I didn't have to prep them with any kind of gesso or anything to cover that up first. I just printed on 32-pound paper, and that saved me a step. Okay, now I can come back, and I've got one more thing to show you after this. And by then our paper clip should be glued. Okay. Now, do I care that I have ridges on here? No. And here's why. Because as soon as I lay this down, now does this have a directional on it? Yes. So I want to make sure my clouds go in the right direction. As soon as I lay this down, I'm going to come back with a roller. I'll use my Tim Holtz one. And that's going to smooth that glue out. So those ridges won't be there. And you can use this, or you can use the face massage roller from Dollar Tree. Either one will work. My handle came apart on the one from Dollar Tree. I had to stick some E6000 in there. So now we can come back. And in case there might be glue around the edge, I'm going to come back and I'm going to use my glue scissors for this so that I don't have the glue. Putting this journal together has been so much fun. I put it all together yesterday except for what I'm doing on camera, and very seldom do I do a journal all in one day. So that goes to show you, you can get creative with anything and you don't have to spend a month working on a journal. Or, you know, I've been doing other things. I've been getting the car cleaned out and packed and ready for me to leave on Sunday. We've had a stove repairman in. I've been doing laundry and putting laundry on the line and spending some game time with Bob. And so, you know, it's not like I've sat here and worked on this continually. And counting what I put together with you, I've only worked on this for 2 days. That's it. Now I'm going to come back and I'm going to use my whole pad this time to go around the edge because it's a bigger surface. One little bubble there. Because it's a bigger surface, so I can go around here faster. Now, here's the other thing you want to keep in mind. If you have 2 sides, don't just ink the front side. You want to ink from the back too, because it doesn't show through on the other side like you think it's going to. So you want to flip it over and do both sides. Okay? And then, what did I do with my page here? Make sure my clouds go in the right direction, so this is where my rings have to go. I can use my measure, and I can draw my holes just like this. Now, I have not figured out every page for decor on here that I want to do. I may come back and play some more. I may add lace. Who knows? Okay, so let's bring this back in. Whoops. Bring this back in. We can get rid of that paper clip and that paper clip. And as long as I don't throw them in the garbage, we're doing good. Let's save that one. Wrong hole. Okay. Now, our paper clip is done. And let me see if I've got a piece of paper here I can show you. That when I go in through this, I'm going to go in between those small holes, between the small discs, and that's going to hide the paper clip. Okay? Now if I can get it back out of there because it's still kind of wet. There we go. And we have this back one to put in. So let's put this one in up front. Now I may go through and use smaller rings as well because I wanted to make sure I had room to work, but I also have smaller discs. I think these are 1.5 inches. I have 1-inch rings over here that I could use. And so we'll snap those back together. And this one I was putting on the inside back, I think. No, let's do this one. Let's see. 1, 2, cover 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So this one goes in the middle. There we go. It's the odd duck. It goes in the middle. As soon as I hit the holes, we're all good. Okay. Oops. Spread that in a little fast. Now, I want to go back here to the beginning for a minute. We have our little duck here. He needs a tag, but I don't think I have. Well, maybe I do. Let's stick that little girl tag in there. I think she's adorable. And then we have this. And let's do this on dimensionals and get her out of the way. Because I just love this little duck. I think it's so stinking cute. So, tell me, are you celebrating St. Patrick's Day today? Leave me a shamrock down in the bottom if you are celebrating St. Patrick's Day and if you are a corned beef and cabbage kind of person. Personally, I'm not. I know I'm Irish and that's just sacrilege, but I do like a corned beef sandwich and fried cabbage. Does that count? I'm going to put him right here. And then I have spring returns. And when I cut these out, I went through and I dusted everything. So that is all dusted and done for. And see, this is why I held off starting with the big rings, because I wasn't sure by the time I got done spreading dimensionals around if the 1-inch rings were going to work. So I went with the 1.25 inch. Spring returns. Okay, we've got that. Okay, let's find a page that does, this one doesn't have anything on either side of it. So let's see if this will fit. I think it will. There we go. And there's our hidden paper clip. So that's going to do it for me for my Make It March 2026 collab with JJ with Joy. Please remember to check out the description box below for all of the videos, and feel free to jump in and get these digitals and make something. If you make something, please post it to social media such as YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, wherever, and you're also able to post it on the JJ with Joy Facebook page. Her link will be down in the bottom in the description box below. I will be back here on the 27th with digitals from Created by Tina, and I'm looking forward to show you that really simple project too. Thanks for joining me in the studio today. As always, creative blessings.